welcome to episode 603 of Good Luck High Five.
That's right. You're listening to a podcast that's for you if you play Magic the Gathering. Whether you...
What's happening?
My brain
Megan's
not
brain.
doing great today. Whether your brain, yes, or your brain, no. We are here for you.
I'm one of your hosts, Maria.
I'm another one of your hosts, Megan.
And on today's show, whether your brain go, beep, beep, boop, boop, or your brain is taking a little nap skis, we're ready to talk about Magic the Gathering and other sundry topics with you.
Yes, and not just with you, but with a very special guest.
Yes.
Luckily, I don't have to have that much brain power because we've got a special guest with plenty of it.
That's so true. We're going to talk to Gavin Verhey of Wizards of the Coast on today's episode.
Yes.
What did he say his job title was?
Don't remember. My brain don't work.
Magic designer.
Principal game designer.
Game designer. Sorry if that's wrong. He says it in the episode, so you can fact check me. But what he does is he makes the cards that you play with.
He make card.
He make card.
Amazing.
He turned cardboard into cardboard card.
Luckily for us, he also knows a lot about Disney Channel original movies. Because if you come on Good Luck High Five, you cannot know just about magic.
No.
You have to know at least about one very tangential topic.
We need to get into your niche,
Yes.
whatever it may be outside of magic. And we do with Gavin, which is so very delightful. So Gavin's going to come on, talk to us not only about Disney Channel original movies, but also Mystery Booster 2, which was just recently announced at Gen Con, which is a very cool product. And you can get your hands on it by going to a con or by ordering Festival in a Box. So we're so very excited to talk to Gavin when he comes here. But before all that, we're so very excited to thank everybody who makes these shows happen. All of our patrons who are patrons over at patreon.com/GLHF Magic.
Yes, thank you so much to especially our new patrons. We have 2 of them this week, increasing or new pledges. Thank you so much to Patty and to Amber.
Yay, Patty and Amber.
Patty, give yourself a big old patty on the back for being so great.
And Amber, you're so delightful. I would encase you in Amber and reanimate your DNA many years in the future in an advanced kind of theme park style situation where people go through on little jeeps on tracks and they look at recreations of you feasting on various meats in really nice enclosures.
That was so long as to not be a pun, but a whole sort of fictional imagining, which, a
reimagining of Jurassic Park for the modern day.
But you are the dinosaur.
But you're the dinosaur, and you get to be really cool and pick whatever one you want.
Yeah.
I personally want to be the little frilled spitter who spits at people, which I learned is not a real dinosaur.
I think I'm just going T-Rex at this point.
Classic.
I think that I used to be more I maybe would have picked something more fantastical in the past.
Yeah.
But nah, I'm the big boy.
Megan, that's it. I'm the T-Rex.
I'm the T-Rex
now.
Give
me them tiny arms and give me that big tail.
That big old head, that big old tail. I'm going to scavenge my food.
Munch,
great,
munch,
let's go.
You can become a patron. It's so fast and simple. You get great rewards. You get early access to episodes, not only of this, but of Commander Arcade. You get ad-free episodes. You get access to our Discord server.
Yes. In fact, if you become a new patron or are just a patron in general, please go into the Discord server and tell us which dinosaur in Jurassic Park you would be.
Great. I really want to know that.
We need to know that when we make a Good Luck High Five Jurassic Park many, many, many years in the future with advanced scientific technology. Yeah. We need to know which dinosaur you're going to be.
Because we need to know what kind of meat on a chain to throw into your enclosure.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Or grass
or
to just
whatever
let
you want. Like for me, for example, it would be an aged cheddar that you would throw across the fence.
You're like a little frilled spitter that eats aged cheddar?
Yeah, 15 years old. That's what I'm looking for.
Oh, and since you're a dinosaur, you can demand it because the other thing that you would eat is them.
Because you got a choice.
Hey, I'm either eating you or a 15-year-old aged cheddar. So, your pick, buddy.
Yep, you figure it out. So thank you, everybody. Patreon.com/GLHF Magic. Word up to our sponsors as well. We want to thank Card Kingdom for being awesome. You can check them out on the internet at cardkingdom.com/GLHF. Please use our affiliate link for anything you want to buy there. It's very important to us. And they're a great website with great service.
Yes. You can go and get some really really cute and great singles from Bloomborough.
So cute and great.
If you're working on building a commander deck, perhaps, you can go and buy some of their great sealed product. Maybe you're like, this set is so cute, I'm going to buy myself a little collector booster box.
I hear it's flying off the shelves.
I also hear it is flying off the shelves.
So if you're interested in that, they've also got a lot of sale deals on right now. If you want to buy a cheap Commander Precon deck, you can get an Outlaws of Thunder Junction deck, the Grand Larcene deck for $40 over there. It's a cheap way to get yourself started on your Commander journey by starting with a Precon.
Card Kingdom. Go there.
It's a really good slogan.
You're welcome.
Thank you as well to Dragon Shield for being another amazing sponsor of the show. You can check out the link to their store in the show notes of the podcast. Please use that link to get whatever you want from Dragon Shield and use the code GLHF at checkout to save yourself 5% on whatever you buy. Their sleeves are so good.
They have been the Dragon Shield sleeves. The gold Steves.
Dragon Shield Steve is their new mascot.
If you haven't met him, he's great. Just a guy named Steve. But he uses Dragon Shield.
But he has great sleeves.
Yes, I was gonna say. Okay, wait. The gold standard of sleeves.
Yeah.
But also whatever other color standard you want, because they come in so many colors.
That's a great point.
There you go.
Yes, absolutely. All their art sleeves, whatever you want. They have cute little baby chibi dragons. They've got their artist series, like Starry Night sleeves that I used at the pre-release. They're just beautiful, everybody. Check them out. Link in the show notes. Before we start the show, I just also want to tell everybody that we released a new episode of Commander Arcade, and you got to check it out if you didn't already.
Oh, it's great. It's the mana value 1 through 4 decks.
Yes.
It's a very fun time.
So these decks are mana value 1, 2, 3, 4. So each deck can only cast cards that are that mana value, because that's all that exists in the deck. There are X spells. I don't know if you count that as cheating, but I sure don't, because I played mana value 1, and I wouldn't have had a lot to do.
You need some X spells in there. Yeah.
It's so good. Check it out right now on youtube.com/@GLHF Commander. Go over there, sub to our new Commander channel. We would really love it if you watch the video towards the end. Just keep it on play and mute on the background. We don't care. Sub, ring the bell for notifications. We need all the help we can get, because we're starting our brand new channel, and it needs all these people to help it fly, to get off the ground with its wings. You know what I'm saying?
I've only been listening partially because I've been looking at all the cute colors of Dragon Shield sleeves.
What one are you looking at now?
Look at these peach ones.
Oh, peach.
Right?
Perfect for like a late summer sleeve.
It's like really nice, and the art on the box is like really cute. It's like it's a little dragon the size of Peaches, and it has Peaches. It's on like a little.
He's peach size.
So, anyways, there you go. I also there's these Aurora colored ones, which are the player's choice from last year, and they're like really lovely. Nice work, players picking that color.
I call that color Megan Green, by the way.
It is.
That's Megan Green if I ever saw it.
Megan Green is a little bit more emeraldy.
Yeah,
but this one's very good.
That's true.
This one's pretty dang close.
I bet they have one that
they
is
definitely
closer
have
to
Megan Green.
Yeah.
Oh, look. Right, like these ones right here. Like,
yeah,
look at
those
this.
ones.
This
those
shade.
ones.
All right.
What shade is that called?
This is called Power.
All right, if you want to get Megan Green's sleeves, you go get the Power sleeves from them.
Exactly. It's a great color. What can I say? I have a lot of it.
Well, that's enough chit chat from us. Let's bring our buddy Gavin Verhey into the convo. Gavin, welcome to Good Luck High Five. Thank you so much for joining us.
I've always wanted to do this. High five?
Yeah!
High five?
Double
All right,
high
which one
fives.
of you is the good luck? Which one of you is the high five?
Wow.
Megan's really good at these.
Okay,
which one is me and which one is her?
This is one of my favorite games to play, which is like which of us is which.
Yeah.
And I think I'm good luck and you're high five.
Yes, I agree with
yeah,
this.
Absolutely.
Okay. Wow. Well, it's unanimous then.
Some other
I'm the and in the middle, right?
Yeah, right.
So I'm the ampersand.
Some of the infamous ones are Mulder and Scully.
Yeah.
I'm obviously in the two of us. So in most situations, I'm a Mulder, but between Maria and I'm the Scully.
Yeah, yeah. It's interesting how life works like that.
Exactly. You could be a Mulder to one person and a Scully to another.
So true. So true. Frodo and Sam, we've done that one.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Wait, I'm trying to remember where we fall on Frodo and Sam.
I feel like this is a fun game. You can tell me the pairing, then I can try and guess.
Yeah, great.
Oh,
Here we go.
nice.
Frodo and Sam.
Yeah.
Frodo and Sam.
Frodo and Sam.
I'm going to say you're Frodo and you're Sam.
I think that's correct.
Is that what I can't remember? Maybe a listener can tell us which one it was.
I do feel like I'm the gloomy Gus of the two of us. I'm like the
gloomy
Gus. Oh no!
I've got to carry this jewelry.
Oh, the burdens of life.
Meanwhile, you're like, I've got a frying pan and I'm ready to go. You know?
Exactly.
Man, I ate bacon this morning like a good hobbit.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think that Maria's got the good Hobbit vibes.
If you take one more step, it's the furthest away from home you've ever been.
Yes, absolutely. But today we've asked you here not only to talk about Mystery Booster 2 and all that fun stuff, but to play a few games with us here on Good Luck
I love
High
games.
Five.
Oh, we love games.
They are your job as well, so this tracks. And one of our favorite games here on GLHF is to play the randomizer. So we're going to show you a random card from Scryfall.com. You're going to have to guess what the card is based on the art alone. You'll describe the art for the audience and then tell us what you think the card does. Here's your first card.
Okay, so this is like a creature of some kind, maybe a lion, maybe a bird. Hard to describe, with like a black plume of stuff coming out of its gut. I believe this is Soul Sever. Is that correct?
What do you think? What does Soul Sever do?
It kills a creature, kills a non-black creature, and you gain life equal to its toughness, maybe?
I can't believe that you can tell what this art is because I'm looking at it and it just looks like abstract to me, but you're right. It is.
I see the claw up there. I see
Right.
the arm.
It's like the weird claw and then the leg down there, and then this guy kind of like curled over a little bit, like he's having his soul severed.
You are correct. You are correct. But it is Sever Soul.
Oh, wow.
So I'll give you a B on this one. 3 black, sorcery, destroy target non-black creature. It can't be regenerated. You gain life equal to its toughness.
Okay, what if I tell you another set it appeared in? Does that give me up to an A?
Okay, I'll give you. We'll give you.
I believe it appeared in Mercadian Masks.
Yes, Mercadian.
All right.
Good. Very good.
Get bonus points can always be awarded. All right. Here's
Do you have one, Megan?
Yes.
Okay, great. Show.
Here you are.
Ooh.
I want Maria dolls in
Oh
this
my
build.
God.
Okay,
Look at some of the ridiculous
This
arts
one
I
is
found.
easier to describe. It is a bunch of, let's be honest, probably men, all carrying a long wooden log because they're probably men, and they're jamming it into a hole of some kind, trying to get it through a door. No comment. Anyway, it's like a castle. This is a white creature. It's from one of the really early Magic sets. It's a white creature that I think grows its power based on something. I don't remember exactly what it grows its power based on. But it's overcast and kind of bad.
It's got to be a defender, right? It looks defendery.
I think the creature are these guys, the dudes, and they get bigger. Maybe they can't be blocked by walls. Maybe they do something with walls.
What would you call this card? What would you name it?
I would name this Bashing Men, which is a funny name for a card.
We can always have a card named Bashing.
We're here for it in 2024.
Because they're men who are bashing, to be clear.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which one is this?
This is Battering Ram.
You're so close.
Banding. I was gonna say banding that. I took myself off of it, but it is.
Yeah. 2 mana for a 1/1.
Wow.
Banding when attacking. If Battering Ram is blocked by any wall, destroy that wall at end of combat.
Oh, I love
Nice.
that.
Yeah,
the flavor.
Very nice. Yeah, it's pretty good. And honestly, 2 mana 1/1 band with attacking back then. I mean, that's just some value.
All right. You're really going somewhere.
What set? Oh, did you already see what set it was from?
Antiquities.
Yeah.
Was its first
Megan,
printing.
this art I'm about to show Gavin might be my favorite Magic art. Look at this.
Okay.
Wow.
This is a 2 Nantuko from Odyssey block. One of them is holding up. We'll call it a wand.
Aliens. They look like aliens.
Well, yeah. The Nantuko, the insect people have those big buggy eyes, you know, and they're holding up like what could be a stick or a wand. And they're like shooting some light onto the ground. I think this is Nantuko Cultivator. Is that correct?
Gosh.
Oh.
What is Nantuko
Nantuko
Cultivator?
Cultivator, I believe, is 3 and a green for a 2/2. When it enters the battlefield, you can discard any number of land cards. You draw that many cards, and it gets that many +1/+1 counters. Is that correct?
Incorrect, but they are Nantuko.
But they are of course.
Wait, does this one maybe sacrifice, destroy an enchantment? Or give something +2/+2?
That is correct. It's Nantuko Calmer.
Nantuko Calmer.
So you're very close. Very close.
Nantuko Calmer.
2 green, insect druid, green tap sack it, destroy target enchantment. It also has threshold. It gets +1/+1.
Well, naturally.
What set is this from?
Let's see. It's from Odyssey block. It's just a matter of which set. I'm gonna guess Torment.
Yes, very good.
Wow.
Very good. Wow, you're so good at this
Maria,
game.
we're never going to be able to play just ourselves
I
again.
know, really
We're embarrassed.
Well, I mean, I didn't get that one right, so no points for me.
Okay.
And in fact, I'm 1 for 2, or 1 for 3, so I'm.
I'll give you a B. A
Yeah,
B+.
I don't know. You're doing very well. To be clear, most of the time Maria and I loosely describe it and then give it a terrible name. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, here.
Oh, this one I know for sure. This is clearly a cauldron with souls coming out of it. It's got like a face on the cauldron. It's like kind of cool abstract-y style piece. Well, not abstract, but like one of those kind of what would you call this?
It's atmospheric.
Yeah, it's atmospheric. It feels like you stumbled upon it in a glade, in like an old Shakespeare bit. But this is a card called Cauldron of Souls from a Shadowmoor block. It's 5-mana artifact. You can tap it to give any number of target creatures persistent until end of turn.
Wow, that is very true.
Is that right,
That
Megan?
is absolutely correct.
Oh, wow.
Cauldron of Souls. It's a spooky looking, I'm into this art.
Yeah,
this is a spooky looking cauldron.
Who did this piece?
Oh, great question. Let's see. This is Ron Brown.
Well, thanks, Ron Brown. Yeah. I love this kind of atmospheric pieces. It looks like you just kind of stumbled upon it in a glade, and you probably shouldn't touch it, but you're intrigued.
But you're going to.
You're going to touch it.
Yeah, you're definitely going to.
For
You're
sure.
intrigued. You're intrigued.
All right. Is this one going to stump you, Gavin? Here you go.
Oh, this is Mirror from Unglued.
All right. What's
sorry,
going on
I
in
should
the art?
describe it.
Yeah.
It's also by Afolio, I believe.
Yeah.
The artist.
I'm sure it is.
there's a woman who's holding a mirror with, importantly, a chicken on the other side of it, because chickens were a big thing in Unglued. And a hand is reaching out of the mirror to grab her collar. Not her literal collar, but her shirt collar.
Okay.
This is a great art.
Classic
I'm
Phil.
into it.
And a fun part about this name, by the way, is it's called Mirror, but the name is reversed.
Yes, on the name of the
name.
Okay, so what does this card do, Gavin? Do you remember?
It's an artifact. It's a play on the card Mirror Universe. So it might have to do with like exchanging life totals or something, but I don't remember it exactly.
All right, it's 7 and tap, sacrifice mirror, choose target player. At the beginning of the next end step, exchange life totals with that player, exchange control of all permanents you and that player control, and exchange cards in your hands, cards in your libraries, and cards in your graveyard.
So basically you switch seats,
swap
basically.
everything.
That's what it is.
Ah, very good.
Yeah. A play on Mirror Universe is the reference there for this.
Oh, that's so awesome. Great piece of art as well.
All right. That wraps up the randomizer, but I am going to show you a member of One Direction, and you're going to guess which one it is.
Okay, I'm ready.
Here you go.
Okay.
Who's this one?
Is this Louis Tomlinson?
This is Louis Tomlinson. I tried to pick the hardest one, but we were, to be fair, just talking about it.
Yeah.
Gavin, good at magic, good at One Direction.
Good at
what
One
can
Direction.
I say?
Wow, incredible.
I would not say he's the cardinal direction, though. I feel like Harry Styles
Harry
took that
Styles,
one. Yeah.
absolutely.
I didn't know Harry Styles was a One Direction before this morning, like 20 minutes ago. So
Yeah, that
learned
is
things
amazing to
today
me.
already.
Maria learned today that Harry Styles was a member of One
If you
Direction.
told me he had been a Disney kid, I would have believed that, I think, or that he was some famous person's child.
What is One Direction but the Disney Channel of music?
Yeah.
We lost.
Whoa. As a huge Disney Channel fan, I'm not ready for this,
I'm not saying something negative about either of those things.
right.
I'm just
Just a
equating
truth.
them vibes wise.
Top 3 Disney Channel shows when you were a kid.
Okay,
What do you
shows. I can do Disney Channel original movies.
Okay, yeah, well, that's
'Cause
great.
like my
I've got strong
jam.
opinions, though.
Oh,
So-
I also
excellent.
Okay, I have a spreadsheet that I'm legitimately
No, you can't
going
look
to pull.
You can't
up.
look at the spreadsheet. You got to know by heart.
I mean, okay, you're right.
If you don't know it off the top of your head, is it really your favorite? Come
No,
on.
you're right. Okay, oh gosh, this is so hard for me because
What?
I just love. Okay, obviously my favorite is Motocrossed.
Oh,
Motocrossed,
a great one. Yeah.
Great classic.
cannot be beat. I love Motocross.
Secret Lair win.
Yes. It's like a perfect film. It's what else are you gonna? It's William Shakespeare. It's Shakespeare.
Quick question.
Okay.
Sorry for me not knowing, but is She's the Man, was that produced by Disney?
No.
It's not Disney Channel. So Disney Channel original movies, for all of you who are watching this and are too young.
Yes.
But although I think Disney is still doing them. Basically, every month when we were all small children or medium old people anyway, Disney would release a new movie. It was a big deal. Like all month
Yes.
be hyping up to this release. You see ads for it on when you watched the thing called the television, and there was
Remember
you
that?
had to watch the ads. There were these ads for all month building up to this release. And when the big day came, you'd sat down at like 7 p.m. or whatever.
Yeah.
You would watch the movie, and the production value was not the highest.
No.
And the actors often rotated through a very similar cast, not unlike a
Yes.
Hallmark film, but the heart was there and the imagination
yes.
was there,
Oh,
you
yes,
know?
absolutely.
And it really captured me as a kid.
Just so everyone knows, Motocross is, of course, a retelling of William Shakespeare's Twelfth Night, but
Yeah.
in the realm of motocross racing, because why not?
Yeah.
Gavin, what's your favorite show or Disney Channel original movie?
Okay. Well, the two at the top for me.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know. Maybe you've got opinions about this.
Okay.
Xenon Girl of the 21st Century.
That was gonna be my next one.
yes.
Like that's 2 for me.
An all-timer. I've literally
Yes.
cosplayed Protozoa.
Absolutely incredible.
I'm a big fan.
Yes.
Very foundational movie for me as a child.
Oh, yeah.
And then can I go ahead and say my number 2, and then we can
Yeah.
go through a few more of them. I mean, this is what the listeners came for, obviously.
It's not good luck high five if we don't talk about something completely unrelated to magic.
And Smart House. Smart House for me is an all-timer. I think it's probably what inspired me to like make my house a smart house now. But I still waiting for the feature where I can push everything onto the carpet and have it like suck it all in. You know? It's like, oh, it needs a mess clean. Just drop it all on the ground. She'll suck it down in for you.
Wait, I will say for me, okay, Smart House is like hauntingly sad.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
It's like hauntingly sad.
Absolutely. There's a lot of subtext there, you know?
We're really saying something about modernity with Smart House. Gavin, how is your house a smart house? I'm very interested in this. What is the coolest thing your house can do?
I can turn on the lights.
Okay.
And the lights go on.
I thought you were going to like have some weird new smart technology that I didn't know about. Okay, never mind.
I can, okay, maybe the coolest thing actually is all my lights are hue light bulbs, so they're all color bulbs.
So you can do all, so in your whole house.
Yeah, and I can tell my my system what color to turn everything.
Yeah.
So I can be like, turn on the lights and make it red and like, and I have a few preset settings. So I have mood lighting and various vibes.
I love that. That's dedication to change every light bulb in your house to a hue.
It just makes me feel cool. So
I mean, I understand.
As someone who's been trying to be cool his entire life and failed constantly, I at least have this one thing under my control.
That is very cool. Yeah. I mean, as people who may or may not have a love for RGB everything in the studio, we understand.
Yeah, good. I'm glad you understand.
Okay, wait. I just have to. Well, I mean, like, if we're talking about Disney Channel originals, I have to give a shout out to Pixel Perfect.
Oh yeah, that's
also
good. Very
hauntingly
underrated.
Sad.
Very underrated.
Yes. And fun fact, written by a guy named Neil Schusterman, who went on to win like the National Book Award for young people's literature. He's like a very famous young adult author now. But this is like Pixel Perfect is like very early in his writing career.
Wow.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Truly Disney, a launching point for so many people's careers.
Including Harry Styles.
Yes. Bringing it right back. All right. Well, it's probably not about Disney Channel movies. But if you don't know what they are and you want to walk through memory lane, and probably they're a lot worse than we remember, you can go watch them right now.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
I watched them during the pandemic. They were there. I think that they're still great. But also, it was during the height of the pandemic, so who knows what my judgment was like.
Yeah, we all made some
interesting choices.
Yeah.
I need your so during the pandemic, Jenny Nicholson watched all the Land Before Time movies.
Wow.
And ranked all of them, right?
Yeah.
And I think that you needed that for Disney Channel original
That's
movies,
what I'm saying, is that I have that. When I said, let me go to a spreadsheet, my friends and I watched them, and then we gave them each our rankings.
Well, Megan, where is the video talking about this? Where is
so
your episode?
sorry.
The YouTube
where
channel.
we can get all of this.
Need
I need the video essay. I need you breaking it down. I need them ranked from top to bottom.
Yes.
All right,
It's
we can do
critical
this.
stuff.
Because
this
you
is
know what?
top content.
I'm going to be harsher on Cadet Kelly than people are happy about.
Oh yeah, that one actually.
That's going to happen.
I mean, I respect many things that it did, but it actually did not entertain me that much.
I agree. I don't think Cadet Kelly is that entertaining.
Well, this is it. So yeah, if you want to see this incredible video where all of them are ranked from top to bottom, Megan ranks them all. Just put in the comments.
Put it in the comments.
Hashtag release the Disney cut or whatever, and we'll see what happens.
Release the Disney cut.
Well, Gavin, we've asked you here in part today to tell us about Mystery Booster 2. You just announced it, and people have been showing off cards on social media, getting hyped and excited for this new set. But before I ask you that, I want to ask you, because I don't actually know, what is your official title at Wizards?
It's a great question. It's changed many times. My official title is Principal Game Designer, although Principal Magic Designer or just the guy who makes cards is
what does that
reasonable.
What does that mean? What's your job?
Yeah, so Principal Game Designer is not really actually a great description of all the things that I do. So I design what the Magic cards do. Not all of them, of course. Like, we have a whole team. Like, I really want to stress, I think a lot of people think about Magic design and they're like, oh, it's like Rosewater and Gavin making all the cards.
Yeah.
No, it's not like that. We have tons and tons and tons of people that all are in the design teams, and we all work together. So my job is I lead sets, and I also help manage the Commander format internally. So me and Melissa DeTora are kind of the two main leads for Commander vision, and I lead kind of the overall vision for the format and where we're going in terms of from a design perspective, and Melissa leads like the balance side of things. So I do a lot of that. But in addition to that, of course, I do a lot of front-facing work at our events. Yep. I do go to events all around the world. I have my YouTube show, Good Morning Magic. I'm on social media too much, so I'm sort of like a front-facing person for the game as well. If you're watching this, decent chance you've probably seen me tweet something at some point or another. So
Yeah, it could happen.
Fair enough.
It's been known to occur. But yeah, but in the office, my role is making cards, working on Commander. But no, I don't just work on Commander sets. I've led a number of cool other things. The thing I'm most excited about that's coming out next year is the Final Fantasy set, which I can't wait for you to all see.
That's so exciting.
Very exciting.
Yeah. Yep.
What's the best part and the hardest part of your job?
Well, I mean, there's so many great parts. Like, I get to work on Magic the Gathering making cards. Like, I cannot describe how cool that is. I could tell you so many things that are awesome.
Last night you were telling us a story of when you were growing up, like just reading a book of cards before you went to bed every night, like just memorizing them kind of. And I just think that's beautiful because that little kid is now living the dream.
Actually, I got a fun story about that. First I'll answer the question.
Okay.
I'm trying to answer the question before putting a new story on the stack.
I like to put another question in the question. It's question sandwich.
So my favorite part is actually the people. Like, I love the people I get to work with. They are incredible. They're so talented. And one thing that's really cool is not only do we all love Magic and I'll have like a lot of fun. Like, when I go to work, it's like hanging out with friends. But many of them, in fact, are friends. I've known them for years and years and years, even before Wizards. Like Adam Prozac, who I sit close to and work with all the time. I knew Adam when I was like a 13-year-old kid playing Magic, right? Melissa DeTora, we play tested for the Pro Tour and teamed up together long before Wizards. So a lot of these people are just longtime friends of mine that are really cool.
I love
so it's
that.
like going to work with a bunch of your good friends, you know? Okay, so here's a fun story for everybody. So when I was 10 years old, I started playing Magic. And when I was 11 years old, I decided I want to be a Magic designer. I'm like, that's what I was going to do. I was going to be a Magic designer.
Holy cow.
So I knew I needed to learn how to make Magic cards to do that. So I would invite friends over for sleepovers. And then it would actually be kind of a ruse because we would just make make Magic cards. So I'd invite them over. I'd be like, all right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to make our own Magic set and then we're going to draft it. So we made our own cards and then we'd all go to bed. And after my mom put us all to bed, she would then print up all the cards, cut them all out, and then get them ready for a draft the next day.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
My mom's a total hero.
Mom of the year.
Everyone called her like the Team Magic mom. She used to come to like our tournaments and just hang out and like she'd check in with all the players, see how they were doing. Like, everyone loved my mom. They called her Next Level Mom. Anyway, so we did this, and then so many times making Magic cards, drafting them, etc. And then eventually, I started playing on the Pro Tour and kind of forgot about that. Put that behind me. Well, when I got hired in Wizards in 2011, I went home for Thanksgiving break after I got hired. And my mom she's like, I found something when I was cleaning out the closet, and she handed me a box of all the cards I made when I was a kid, right? When I was like 11 and 12 and 13 years old, from all these little trick sleepover drafts. And I'm looking through them, and they're just absurd, right? There's like a land that taps for 2 mana or to draw 2 cards. Like,
oh my God.
Print it, you cowards.
But I keep going, and I find this one card, and I'm like, I think we could actually do this. And I go back to the office and I pitch it to the set I'm working on, to Dave Humphries, who's the lead designer for Gatecrash. And he likes it and he puts it in the set, and it gets made basically as I made it when I was 11 years old. And it's not a great card. It's actually pretty bad. It's called Serene Remembrance. It's a single green mana. It shuffles 3 cards from a graveyard and itself into your library. My idea was it would be good against the Dimir Mill deck in that format.
Yeah.
But it's a very special card to me because it's a card I made when I was like 11 years old that then went on to go be put in a Magic set.
That's so cute.
Why
Very
does
special.
love
Cutest
it?
story.
Yeah.
Holy
Oh my
cow.
God.
Was this art reminiscent of what you drew when you were young?
There was no art on the cards when I was a child. So.
Wow.
That's
I would
probably
have done all of the art at your sleepover then.
Hey man,
Yeah, well, we needed you. Clearly we were missing the art side of things.
I'd be like, hey man, are you going to Gavin's house this weekend? He swears he's not going to make us make Magic cards
said,
again.
"We're
He
definitely
said,
not
quote,
drafting again."
We're not making Magic cards this time.
I don't know, Megan. I think when we show up, we might be making some magic
I
cards.
don't know. I think we should go.
I'll put you on, if you want to do the art, put you on the art team. It'll be great.
Okay,
No problem.
great.
I should do that. I should get all my old friends together for a sleepover where we make Magic cards
Oh my God.
and do the whole
But
thing.
Gavin,
again.
also, like, please don't
Yes.
tell them and be like, hey, just come on out to Seattle for the weekend. We'll
We're
have a
getting
really
an
great
Airbnb.
time.
a
We're
little
hanging
friend
out.
reunion,
Exactly. It'll be a fun party. We'll chill out.
Your
JK,
mom is
everybody,
your
we're making
mom's there.
Yeah.
She's ready to
They
help
walk in the
us.
door to my mom and immediately they know what's up. Right? There's no mystery.
like next to a printer and like one of those paper slicers.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I also asked you what the hardest part of your
what's
job
the hardest
is.
part?
Wow. There's a lot. I mean, one of the hardest parts of my job, I've gotten pretty good at it now, is honestly just the waiting. Because we make our sets so far in advance, like years and years and years in advance.
How
And-
far? Like 4 years old?
Well, so like Final Fantasy comes out next year, and I started touching that set, I believe, in 2021. So, right. So imagine
Well,
we worked on
yeah.
something for years.
Wow.
Like Mystery
Yeah.
Booster, we started working on a couple years ago too.
Yeah.
And it's just, I I mean, there's so much cool stuff, and I want to tell you about it all, and just like waiting to get it right and waiting for it to come out is really hard. I'd say that that's like a kind of a fun answer. I'd say that the other part is just like in anything you do where you have some amount of mastery over, there's this constant like getting better and then plateauing for a while and then getting better and then plateauing for a while.
Yeah.
This happens in almost anything. And in design, like there's this moment where you're like, am I ever going to get better at this? How am I going to learn more? And then eventually you have some breakthrough and you begin like growing and you plateau again. And I don't feel as much these days because I kind of know how the cycle goes. But early on in my career, there were so many like times where I was plateauing. Now I'm like, am I not good at this? Right? It's that kind of imposter syndrome coming in.
Absolutely.
And someone on the internet would argue I'm still not good at it, but
there's always someone on the internet who will tell you you're not good at something.
But that kind of process of plateauing, getting better, I think can be really frustrating. And so I do a lot of coaching of our newer designers, and I really try and help them get through that. Be like, look, you're gonna do great. Just give it time, keep working on this, because like the first big thing is seeing a magic set you've worked on go from start to finish teaches you so many things about the whole process. Sure. And your first time going through it, you have you might have heard about it, but until you're in the thick of it, you have no idea all the pieces, all the different benchmarks you have to hit and checkpoints you have to hit. Like you're kind of just like trying it all out, and you have people who are hopefully helping you out with it. But it's sort of like, I remember when I worked on Battle Bond, which was my first booster set that I made. It was like this there was a time I was just in tears, right? At home, like trying to like wrap my head around all this because I was just like could not understand how to get it all done. And then of course, I put so much time and energy into that set, and I'm so proud with how it turned out. But I've learned so much since then. And so my goal is like, all right, you're a new designer. Don't worry, your set's gonna be fine. I'll walk you through all the pieces of it. I know you're having trouble right now. Let's talk about how to fix it. I'll show you some of my methods. And I love kind of being a word of wisdom for the newer crowd coming in, right? I love mentoring folks. So.
I asked Mark this. I believe it's one of my favorite things to like ask about because I just am so curious about it. The state of Magic being around for 30 years and having so much iteration already have happened in the game. How do you approach trying to do something new in this, two-dimensional space of this game after 30 years?
When I came to Wizards 13 years ago, I was worried that Magic would run out of ideas. I was like, how much of the space is there really? I hear it all the time. There are things that were talked about in my first week of Wizards, many things we still have not done. There are so many ideas and cool things to do with Magic that I feel we have so much room. I mean, I don't know if it's infinitely, if it can last for, hundreds and hundreds of years. I hope it can. Who knows? But at least for my lifetime, I think Magic could easily have enough material to keep going, right? And my goal is to make sure that someday my kids can play Magic if when I have them, and that it'll outlive me. Right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Wow.
Until the heat death
amazing.
of the universe has been called, Magic will be with us.
I think so.
There's more universes too, by that
that's
point.
true.
It's a multiverse / simulation.
I think my favorite iteration of Magic is like, so like Earth, we've like fallen into, who knows what's happened to Earth, like several thousand years, but then aliens land and they like unarchaeology, they archaeology Magic cards, and then aliens start playing Magic the Gathering as they gather it was played from Magic cards that they unearth.
I'm really starting to gather who is the Mulder and who is the Scully here. I'm really starting to get there, I think.
I'm just saying, imagine some aliens several thousand years in the future playing Magic the Gathering because they found it when they did some archaeology on Earth, and they're like, this looks sick.
And they'll get one rule wrong, right? They'll misunderstand one thing.
There's going to be something that they don't understand. Yes, and it's going to be very bizarre for them.
They don't get the upkeep.
I was going to say
that's what it is.
Honestly, upkeep. If we were remaking Magic, I'd just get rid of it.
That's what I was also going to ask you. Right. What are you getting rid of? Okay, it's the upkeep. Yeah, I mean that's something I've been thinking about a lot recently too.
We actually talked about it, right? At one point we discussed.
Well, Maria and I did get rid of the upkeep.
Yeah, I mean, your office is in shambles. Where's all the upkeep?
Oh, brutal. Anyway, sorry, I enjoyed. Keep going. You all were saying actual substantive things.
No, jokes are substantive things. They're critical. We actually talked at one point about should we get rid of the upkeep.
Yeah.
But there's just so much history in Magic, so many people with decks that care about the upkeep. We're not going to get rid of it. But you can accomplish most of the things you want to do with the upkeep by having it trigger in your draw step at the beginning of your main phase whatever. And then instead of having to teach every player what an upkeep is,
Untap, upkeep, draw.
Right. It's like, all right, new player, let me explain the phases of you to the turn. First phase, irrelevant. Forget about it.
Yeah, I know. It's
called the
tough.
upkeep.
That is tough.
You don't care.
You don't care. Moving on.
That's actually one of my red flags for when I know there's red flags in dating. There's also what I like to call teaching red flags. When I watch someone teach Magic, I'm like, what is a red flag? If they sit down and they start explaining the upkeep, I'm like, uh-oh, teach a red flag.
This person is out.
If they're like, untap, upkeep, draw, I'm like, uh-oh, we're off to a bad start. Off to abort mission,
Oh, God, it's so true.
Yeah. Very recently, Maria and I, I tried to improvise a song where we taught Magic. And let me tell you, it's not one song's worth of material. Do not think we were successful.
It's a catchy song, though. It's a catchy song. It was in my head for like 2 weeks.
Wow. Well, that sounds like a success to me.
Yeah. Like we can play it for you after this. you might be humming it on your flight home. Well, Gavin, tell me about Mystery Booster 2. Mystery Booster 1, I guess we're going to start there. Like, what is Mystery Booster?
Okay. In the beginning. Okay, so basically what happened is in 2017, 2018, the events team wanted some small, little, tiny experience they could run at conventions. Just like a little booster pack, a little something fun that they could run as a side draft. Yeah. And they handed me the task of coming up with it. And I love Chaos Draft. It's one of my favorite ways to play Magic. Chaos Draft, if you don't know, is a booster draft, but everyone brings a random mix of packs, or you bring a random mix of packs. You draft them. Anything and everything could be in there. It's chaos, right? And I had the idea of what about doing Chaos Draft in a booster pack. And so I pitched it, people liked it, and we started working on it. And my idea was a few hundred cards. And after we dug in, without going into all the logistics behind it, after we dug into it a little bit, it ended up turning into like an 1,800 Magic card set, basically, right? We there's a meeting I was in, I will never forget this meeting, where we had discovered this technology where we could basically grab old card files that were already ready to go. So one of the big limiters, I guess that's just a backup. One of the big limiters in making Magic cards that you might not recognize is every single card has to be typeset out into the card frame, has to be like checked for, has to go through all these kinds of checks, has to make sure it fits, all this stuff, right? So if you're making brand new Magic cards or even reprinting Magic cards and putting them into a frame, you have to do that. So for example, when we release an all reprint set, like a master set, from a design perspective, it's a lot less work because the cards are already made. But from like a templating and printing perspective, it's just the same amount of work basically, or pretty close to it, because that team still has to review all the cards, put them all into a frame, like check for placement, all the stuff. It's still a ton of work. But what we discovered is if we just could grab the original file exactly as we printed it and put it in there. And do maybe something tiny like putting a little watermark on it, like we do with this little Planeswalker symbol that's a Mystery Booster, we could just grab old files and use as many as we wanted. And so I was there in this meeting, and I'm being told this, and I was like, so you're saying there's no limit on the number of cards we could do? And they're like, yeah, I mean, it's all about the same. Like, you just tell us what cards you want, and we'll figure it out. And so I was like, if we wanted to do, I don't know, 1,700 cards, that would be wild, right? And they're like, I don't know, whatever. It's all the same to us. And I was like, an idea was born, right?
Let's go.
And literally that morning, Mark Globus, who was also working on the set, was like, I wish the set was bigger. And I was like, boom, perfect.
Like, I have good news for you.
So the way we built it is basically every single slot in the pack is its own card sheet. So a card sheet has 121 cards. If you've ever seen like an uncut sheet or something like that. All 15 slots in the pack has its own sheet. And that's how many cards are in the set. It's a ridiculous amount. And actually, Mr. Booster 2, it's a bit larger than that. So anyway, long story long. We worked on the set. We put in tons of old weird reprints. We put in these hand-drawn playtest cards that have these kind of like weird effects based on, so I call them like kind of future sight cards. They're not quite uncards. They're not quite real cards. They're kind of like give you an idea of what could come in the future. And we launched it at Magic Fest Richmond, and it went on to be a huge hit. People loved it and loved it and loved it. It's one of people's favorite draft formats of all time. There's all kinds of cool reprints in there.
Oh yeah, I drafted back then. It was fabulous.
Yeah.
It's great. And so it was only a matter of time until Mystery Booster 2 was greenlit.
Wow.
And they came to me and Eric Engelhard, my fellow co-conspirator in this, worked on the set, and it comes out, it'll be at MagicCon Vegas,
nice.
Which
there
I'm really excited
go.
about. There'll be tons of it there. You want to come play it at Vegas, there'll be tons and tons of Mystery Booster 2 there. And it'll also be available in a festival in a box, which I believe goes on sale on August 19th.
That's Monday.
That's a Monday. Oh, yes,
That's
I got it
Monday.
right.
Yes.
I nailed it. Which you can get it in that. And all the details about that are out online right now. So go check it out when it hits.
That's very exciting. So if you're going to Vegas, everybody, that is the weekend of the 26th of October this year. So that's when that's happening.
Spooky.
Very spooky.
Yeah.
So what you'll find in Mystery Booster 2, we were like, okay, the first one was wacky, right? 1,800 Magic cards.
Yeah.
We had these playtest cards. We had to go even wilder. So some things you'll find in here. The return of white borders. I know you're all excited about this.
Love it.
The return of white borders.
I mean, to each their own. Let's go.
Love it or hate
Yes.
it. It definitely evokes emotions.
Love it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And wait, so this white border, not white border?
Oh, I'm into it.
I don't care actually. It kind of depends on the card. If it feels like the aesthetic of the card and the art goes with white border, sure, why not?
I will say, as we have started playing more Commander, I have found that my problem is that if I can buy any non-normal version of the card, I will.
That's a great point.
So I feel like white border just feeds into that for me. I'm like, yes, let's do it.
So I think you'll appreciate it too. So when we were choosing our white border cards, we had a few things we were looking for, a few of our favorite gimmicks. One, anything with snow, because the white is like snow around the outside.
Love
so
snow.
we got
Love
snow-covered lands. Anything with a funny joke relating to white border. For example, my favorite is the card Whiteout. Whiteout is a card that we gave the white border to. Its name is Whiteout. That's great. Yeah. But also there's a version in Mystery Booster 2 that just has no art. The arts we totally whited out.
Oh, that's so
good.
And
that's a whole fun gag. So we chose then the third category are cards that might tilt your opponent even more because they're white bordered. So Wasteland, Daze, like these are cards we give the white border treatment to. Because getting Daze kind of sucks. Yeah. Getting white bordered Daze, you're just like come on, that's devastating. And then so we have white border cards. We have Future Sight Frame. The Future Sight Frame returns, which is a big deal.
Yes.
Back when I was working on Time Spiral Remastered, we unlocked the Future Sight Frame. We didn't end up using it there because my visual vision shifted, but we kept it in our back pocket and we deployed it here. So lots of cards get the Future Sight Frame, including the card Future Sight, which is of course fitting for the Future Sight Frame. But there's a lot of wacky cards that show up there as well.
And it's it's honestly a frame I'm so happy to see more cards in because I really like the Future Sight Frame. I think it's cool.
Yeah, I also have always loved the Future Sight Frame.
It looks good, I think.
I'm big on it.
Yeah.
The playtest cards are back. There's 121 weird, new, strange playtest cards in this product.
Those are my favorite.
They're references to things we might do or magic references or who knows what, really anything and everything. And then the other thing is we kind of unlocked the ability. In the original Mystery Booster, we could only put one card from before M15 in every pack. Here we unlocked the ability to go as ham as we wanted to.
Nice.
So it's full of all kinds of wacky old stuff. And I think almost every set since Mirage is represented in the set somewhere. So I think it's well over 100 Magic expansions you'll find here, including dual decks and master sets and all kinds of weird stuff. And kind of our goal was every pack has something you'll feel nostalgic about and something that you'll be like, what the heck is this? Great. And that's kind of what we did to bring it together. And so last week at Gen Con, I ran this kind of special surprise where people didn't even know the set existed. And then I announced it and gave out these secret invitations. And within 24 hours, folks were drafting it. So we went from announce to play within 24 hours, which has never happened before. And the response has been really great so far. So I'm stoked to have people play it more coming up soon.
That's so cool too. I love that. There's like most Magic sets, there's like a big lead time, and you hear about it. So it's also fun that like with Mystery Boosters, it's just like, and it's here.
Right. Right. And I really thought it was fun too that I was able to give out some packs to creators who were then posting their stuff, and so it's like. The preview season isn't like some carefully crafted thing. It's like, open a booster pack, post what you find on social media.
See what happens.
The set is over 1,800 cards. Like, see what we have,
And we have a booster pack right here, everybody.
I hand-carried one here just for you
This
folks.
is hand-delivered Mystery Booster 2.
I heard that it got its own seat on the airplane.
Okay, so we're going to play movie pitches with you with this Mystery Booster 2 booster, which I think will give us some pretty good movies.
Yeah.
Megan, will you crack this?
Oh, so exciting.
All right, here we go.
Hollywood, call us if any of these movies call to you. Because we've invented some pretty good ones over the years, I have to say.
Yeah.
No studio executives have yet called us, but I think it's any day now, quite frankly.
Only a matter of time.
All right, here we go. Here's our cards.
Yeah, please go. You do the first one. Show me how it's done.
All right.
I should grab one first.
You can pick one. You can pick one.
All right.
All right.
All right, Maria, hit us with it.
Okay, so I don't know. This is like a teen horror movie about a teen who I don't know what he wants. He wants to be rich or something, or date the most popular girl in school or whatever. So one night he goes out to a graveyard and he makes his wish on a monkey's paw. And of course, he gets what he wants, but it's in a really backwards way because now he is rich and cool, but he just like smells terrible constantly, like, which is of course a problem for him in high school. But he that's the deal that he made on one fateful evening in the movie Foulmire Night.
The night's a good double pun here.
Yes. Foulmire Night, if you will. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, I have for us, this is an old school, like this is a Western, and it's about, it's like, there's a classic, like small Western town, and there's, bandits that come in and rob, we'll say that they rob, like the bar,
the tavern,
exactly.
Yeah.
They rob the saloon, and then they run off, and then all of the people at the saloon are like, we won't stand for this. We're gonna become robbers and go rob the people who robbed us. So they do. They get together and they the people who robbed them used what they stole to try and start their own town. But then the first people who were robbed go to the new town and rob them in turn.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
but
nice.
A third party of people who's passing through sees this happen and they're like, the injustice of those people being robbed. So they form a third robbery group who then goes back to the first town who has now reestablished themselves with what they re-robbed back, and they rob those people and return it to the second set of people. It's kind of like a whole who's on first, but of robbery. In you're confronted by robbers.
Oh, I love that.
So there you go.
Wow.
It's just like a nice triangle
robbery
of stealing.
train.
Exactly.
I was wondering where this was going, but the card name really brings it all together.
Really
brings it all together.
Yes, indeed.
You were like, why am I watching this film? Until you heard the title of the movie you were watching.
So I've got a summer
Yeah.
blockbuster or great Disney Channel original movie.
Okay.
Could go either way.
You love them both.
So a renegade scientist. He's
Yeah.
working in the
Yes.
lab, right? He does some science with physics, whatever.
Yeah.
And something goes horribly wrong. And there's this cluster of atoms that keeps picking up more and more mass. It just keeps picking more and more mass, getting larger and larger.
Dangerous.
And it grows a mind of its own and starts rolling around, smushing people and killing them all. And this team has to try and stop this natural disaster of this mass that is growing larger and larger. How do you stop the very powers of the universe?
How?
Well, I don't know. We're going to have to find out in Massacre.
The mass certainly has occurred.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's a massacre.
I'm putting a dash, by the way, between mass and occur. Okay?
Oh, that's
I'm
a
allowing
cool
that
looking
edit.
card.
Yeah, this is a reprint from Nemesis. So gives all creatures -2/-2. You can play it for free. So
Love
That's
it.
very cool.
Wow,
gotta pick up another
that
card now.
scientist really didn't think of what he was doing. Okay, this one is from the era of Minority Report. The very gritty, very cool colors, sci-fi kind of story. And it's in this society, they're we individual people who have the best thoughts. That's not helpful to society as a whole. What if something happens to them? What if they die? What if they use their great ideas for the wrong purpose? So if someone has a really excellent idea, what happens, or a really great thought, is we bring them in and we siphon those thoughts and put it into one great, cybernetic mind that is holding all of these great thoughts. But then of course, eventually the mind goes rogue and there has to be, there's the rebellion of people who have never allowed themselves to have their thoughts siphoned, who have to go up against it because they're the only ones who still have all their thoughts in their own head in Thought Vessel.
Oh,
white
nice.
borders. Wow.
Yeah, there we
right
go.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Shiny.
Oh,
So
yeah.
shiny. Well, not shiny, but just reflective.
No, exactly.
So-
It's excellent.
so blinding.
So blinding.
All right, so I've got a bit of a twist for my next one.
okay.
Okay.
It's a classic fairy tale. We all know Little Red Riding Hood. We all know this tale, right?
Yeah.
This is a new take on it. This is a fresh, young take on Little Red Riding Hood. It's got a nice message at the end, the viewers might not be expecting. So Little Red Riding Hood, we all know the story, right?
Yeah.
But in my story, it's a dragon. It's not a young girl. It's a young
Little
dragon.
Red Dragon
Ooh,
Hood?
okay.
Yeah, exactly. Little Red Dragon. And going along, and there's a big problem. A human has eaten his grandmother.
Wow.
And it's a commentary on the horrors of humanity.
Yes.
And just how
we are here for this.
Cannibalism.
I was feeling stuff. In my movie, Young Red Dragon.
Yes.
I love that.
Anything that turns a normal story that we know into a commentary on the horrors of humanity, we are in for.
Oh my God. Okay, do we want to do one more? How are we feeling?
I would do one more.
I'll do one more.
All right.
I'm going to find a better card than my next one.
Yeah,
then.
you find a good one. Find a good one. This one's okay. So this movie is kind of like a dystopian movie, which I do love to make on this channel. Let's not kid ourselves. But what happens is there's a future society. It's a dystopia. Spoiler alert. Everything's gray and boring. You eat your meal in a pill form. You walk on concrete sidewalks and live in your concrete bunker. And you're sad basically in this future. But there's talk of like if you get high up enough in society, you go and work at another town next door. And so one kid is like, oh, I want to be able to maybe find out what happens in that town next door. And one day he sneaks across the border into the town next door where everything is the exact opposite that it was in the town where he currently lives. Like everything is flopped.
Wow.
So it's basically like only the elites are allowed to go into this town until the kid manages to break down the borders and be like, no, we're going to combine these two societies as one to make the perfect society instead of two that are just mirror images of each other in the annex.
Okay.
Oh, very exciting.
Yeah. He's kind of the giver, kind of, I don't know.
Ooh, yeah. Love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the art right there, the dude.
Yeah,
it's just
that is it.
That's him.
He's got it in there.
That's the guy.
Okay, this is just Goodwill Hunting, but instead of being good at math, he's good at geometry, a different math. Right,
Yeah, that
and
makes
they're
sense.
like, yeah, exactly,
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
the university is like, but you have to stay and you have to become an academic and teach us all fancy geometry. And he's like, no, I'm gonna go live my own life, in Serpentine Curve.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I'd watch a Goodwill Hunting about geometry specifically.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like a snake professor, It's like really to make it the serpentine, get that in there. Okay, so mine got a bit of a twist. It's an M. Night Shyamalan film.
Oh,
okay.
Shyamalan
all
ding
right.
dong.
All right. So there's a child in a medieval setting who has heard about a legendary dragon that will take care of you if you find the dragon. And he goes on an epic quest through many journeys. Now, people keep telling him the horrible tales of this dragon.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the dragon will care for you. That's its whole thing, right? Its name is the Care Dragon. So clearly, it's gonna all be good.
Yeah.
So he keeps going to try and find this dragon. And everyone keeps saying all these mean things about the dragon. It's like, no, the dragon's got a heart of gold. It's the Care Dragon. It's gonna be great, And so he goes on this huge epic quest. And at the end of it, he finally finds what is supposed to be his great friend. He has to, fight through some kobolds and get into this scary looking keep. And then he is killed and eaten because, as it turns out, he misheard, and it's Prosh Sky Raider of Care, not Care.
Right,
So,
If
heard the word
only he
care.
had seen
Yes.
it spelled, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She should have been literate. But,
Exactly. I was gonna say, this is the problem with only oral storytelling.
Ooh, what a rare.
I know.
I was gonna say,
what a mythic.
We got
There's some great cards. We have a natural order
too.
Ooh,
in a
holy
future
cow.
It
setting.
goes right with your Prosh right there. That's pretty sick.
Yeah.
Sick.
This little essence of a Johnny. We love
Here's
this
this funny playtest card.
Oh, look at
it's
this.
an emblem you get to cast.
As the spell resolves, put it into the command zone. Whenever you cast a spell, you gain 1 life.
Nice.
Just an emblem.
That's cool. Big thank you to Gavin for coming on our show and having a bunch of hot nonsense with us.
Yeah.
We learned so much.
We learned so much.
Great bonus for you this week,
Yes.
producers.
Really good time.
Anytime you become a producer, BT Dubs, you get access to all the producer back catalog. So,
Ooh,
you know what I'm saying?
there
There's
you
a
go.
whole bunch of great ones, including our Madam Web rant.
Our Madam Web rant. And someone was saying that last week,
Oh, yeah.
last week's was even better. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you what it was. I'm not going to tell you what it was, but it was a very good time.
It's some good content, everybody.
Yes.
You don't want to miss out on it. Patreon.com/GLHF Magic. Thanks once again to Card Kingdom. Check them out at cardkingdom.com/GLHF. And Dragon Shield, link below the show, below the video. Click on that link if you're going to make a purchase. It really helps us out. It's a free way to support Good Luck High Five. Similarly, free way to support Good Luck High Five going and shopping at Card Kingdom using our affiliate link. You're just going to buy what you're going to buy anyway, and you support us. It's a win-win situation.
Thank you again to Amber and to Patty.
Amber and Patty,
our two new patrons. You're really wonderful. Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to Gavin. Thank you.